This is the first time I've done something like this. So this is just an experimental broadcast. Nothing big, nothing spectacular. I'm just, messing around with a few things, trying to see if this works or not. I'm in a recording studio here at Rated F Gaming Studio B here in Chicago. We just, finished the studio, I would say, back in February of this year. Started it back in September of 2015. This was like a winter project to get us through the long, hard, supposedly vortex winter that we were supposed to have here in Chicago, but it never happened. So, killed time from the months of January, February, back to, like I said, from September. This is actually was a walk-in closet, one of our storages that we use here at the studio. Outside of the studio is Studio A, which is a lot bigger than this. We use this to do all of our recordings as far as like podcasting, voiceovers, voice drops, um, you name it, YouTube gaming, streaming, Twitch, all the above, that whatever's out there, it's done in this studio setup. But I'll be honest with you, since it's summertime, nobody really gets in here and do anything in the studio. I'm just messing around. It's approximately 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. in the morning here in Chicago, that I'm messing around in the studio. It's a day off that I have from my full-time job. So I do the Rated F Gaming, which is my company part-time, you know. Hey, what's up? Hey. So I got my camera. You probably wondering, so how's he getting the back view? So I could have the camera in front of me, but, you know, everybody does that, where everybody's looking at, the person, and that's cool and great and stuff like that. But I actually wanted you to see what I'm doing on the screen. So I figured I'd try a different angle, a different point of view. But I'm gonna try this now, see if this works. I'm gonna make the screen small, but I'm gonna try an experimental on, see if this comes up or not. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna move the screen over to a little bit right there. Let's see if this will come back, because I had it up, but I couldn't do it at the same time, so that way you could see it. Okay, there you can actually see what I'm getting ready to play right now, which is Black Ops 2. I don't know how clear the picture is from behind me, but like I said, this is just an experimental. It's nothing great. I don't usually do this on, Younow. This is not my thing to stream on. If I'm gonna do some major quality streaming, it'll be on Twitch or on the one I'm using now, Stream, the network, or YouTube Gaming, which are, you're probably asking, so how many streamers out there? A lot of people don't have a YouTube Gaming account. A lot of people don't have a Twitch account, so they go to the next best thing, which is the easy thing to do, is Younow, and then they broadcast their game by putting their cell phone on a little device and then aiming it toward the screen. And basically what I'm doing, I don't know if you can tell, I'm not using a cell phone. I'm using a webcam, a top-of-line 10 with a higher resolution of almost like 14, that's mounted on a tripod that's sitting behind me, behind my seat, that's aiming toward the screen. So, like I said, this is just experiments. I like to experiment and set up things and try new ideas to see if it works or not. I'm trying to find out. Let me see if this is working. Well, anyway, I'm gonna, right now I'm using, you're probably wondering what I'm playing this game on. It's a desktop here in the recording studio. It's a gaming PC desktop that I installed. A lot of people didn't, agree with it. They said, what is a gaming PC tower doing in a recording studio? I said, hey man, I want to try something different, have a different setup here in the studio. A lot of people, say, oh, well, it's a recording studio. I say, hey, we're making it the next big thing, switching it up a little bit, coming up with some new ideas. So yeah, it's a gaming tower that I got at Christmas. I really don't use it that much because I'm not a PC gaming person. I'm more of a console. My favorite is Xbox 360, and then of course the PlayStation falls in second, and then PC. Whenever I decide I'm in a PC mood, I want to get out here and just mix it up and change up the format, and basically that's what I'm doing right now. Um, Last night I was out here playing this for another experimental and seeing if it works or not. And so far, it's like I said, it's okay. PC is not my thing because you have to use a lot of mouse controls and keyboards and stuff like that. And that's just not my thing. I'm more of a, as you can see, I got the controller in my hand, and it's hooked up. So PC has come a long way now, where you can hook up any type of controller from Xbox 360 controller, or or PlayStation 4 controller, whichever your PC allows you to hook up. There are some drivers that you have to download that you can go and get, and some of the controllers now these days come with the software built into it. So all you got to do is hook this little bad boy up and just connect it to your USB input on your tower, and it automatically just load from the controller. Back in the days when when they were just starting this, you would have to go and get the drivers from a website, then download them into your tower, and then you have to get the right amount of specs, because if you got the wrong drivers, it wouldn't work. So it was a little bit more complicated. Some controllers did come with disk, that you had to load into your PC tower and then wait, and then it took some time. And if you wasn't PC tech, or knowledgeable on hooking up this stuff, it would just like, forget about it, I'm not interested. But now these days, with PC playing a big major role in gaming and stuff like that, everybody has made it simple and easy to hook up now, especially with the next gen controllers and stuff like that. It's a whole lot easier, and I can see why. And a lot of people are like, well, which is better, PC or console? And it depends on you. I look at it like this. PC is great because you can always keep constantly upgrading. I mean, you can take parts and put them in, pull them out. When you can add more RAM, you can add more memory, you can upgrade your drives, make them bigger and stuff like that. You can put slide-in drives, which so pop out, slide in. I mean, you can constantly keep, keeping up with the Jones as far as like when new games come out. Where with consoles, you can't really do that. You can't open up your console and drop in a new drive, or better, or more RAM and stuff like that. So you kind of stuck with it until the next generation of consoles come out, and that's just the way it is. Me, I don't have a problem with that. Because it's not like the next game is going to come out with more higher resolutions and whatever it is, because the software industry and the game developers, they know the PC, as far as the consoles can handle and what they can do. So they build these games when they're developing for that particular console. So they don't try to over exceed it, or overdrive it or anything like that. And that's just the way it works. So, like I said, I'm into all of it. And I got the PC in this recording studio to, you know, quiet down some of the, the criticisms that I was getting here, as far as like feedback and stuff like that from people that were following us on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. They said, "Oh, you're a gaming company, but you don't have a PC, in your gaming setup or whatever." So, last year we decided to throw one in here, and we decided to throw it in the recording studio that you see that I'm in from the webcam behind me that we're broadcasting. So we set it up in a different way. I mean, we could have put it out in Studio A, but out there is just, that's strictly Xbox 360s and PlayStation in that setup. So we said, okay, we're going to make it in a separate solo room with a recording studio set up around it, and give it a kind of unique setup, totally different from what everybody else is doing. And from what you see in this setup, I mean, this room is very well insulated. I mean, we took time, and I mean, as you can see, the plush acoustic soundproof walls and stuff like that that are around me. Let me get this screen down. As you can see, I got the Black Ops 2 up, and this is the PC version that you're looking at. This is not a console version or a PlayStation 4, Xbox 360. This is strictly PC that you're looking at that's on my screen, and I'm using a BenQ monitor that's 32-inch gaming PC monitor that's in here. So let me drop this screen down and give you more information about this setup so that way you get an idea. I'm going to exit out. Yes. We're going to widen up this baby. Okay. In this setup that you're watching that I'm sitting in right now, like I said, all these acoustic panels around me are three different to four different types. So we had them shipped in from all over. Some are thicker than others, some are thinner than others. And we got that because we want the sound to like be absorbent. So you know the ones that are in front of me that you see that are a little bit thicker, a little heavier, absorb more sound. You know, it doesn't bounce back into your mic and stuff like that. Because a lot of people don't understand what acoustic panels is used for. They see it in a lot of people's videos when they do podcasting or talk shows and stuff like that. They may have one panel in front of them, or like a diamond type just coming like this way, or they may have two or three on the left and right side of them. You know, it depends on what your budget is. We got about a good, and I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm keeping it real. It's about $900 worth of panels that are in this, from the ceiling all the way down to almost to the base of this studio. And like I said, we did that. So, I mean, when if you had walked in here when there were no acoustic panels inside of this walk-in closet, you could hear the echoes like I'm sitting in a tub and stuff like that. But now it absorbs the sound and it improves your broadcasting and it helps, you know, your sound quality when you're doing mixes, when you're doing voiceovers, voice drops, music, you name it. It helps it and it gives it more professional, crisp, clean sound. So if I step up with a mic like this, you can tell the difference. You see, 1 2 1 2. So if I'm back a little bit, you know, but you know, I mean, and then I'm using a Rode, you know, it depends on what type of mic. Everybody's got the, you know, the regular basic mic. I went around and I got the Rode mic, which is, you know, my gift to myself to the studio. And I got a bunch of other mics in here, as you can see on the arms. See, if I swing this over, you can see this mic. See, this is another mic here, so I can mix it up. And you probably asking why you got the plastic, you know, covering, because you know you got to keep these things covered, you know, if you're not using them because they will pick up dust. And then it's got a, you know, a sponge on the top of it for, you know, and people asking, well, what's that for? That's if you don't want that pop blocker like what this mic has. See how this mic has the pop stopper that's in front of it? This is the next generation of pop stoppers. It's more of a square type of pop, so that when you know you step up into it, you don't hear them pops like your P's and you know certain things that you pronounce, and you'll hear them like popping in there. So that stops that. Because a lot of people are like, well, what is that funny thing that people have in front of their mics? And those are pop stoppers. And these are also known as pop stoppers. A little round black little. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of hard to push it out and stuff like that. But it's in the plastic. They're round and they look like a foam, like they make the microphone look like eating an ice cream cone and stuff like that, but instead it's a black spongy little ball that goes over the mic, and you can use those too. And like I said, we got these, and then you probably asked them, what are the rings that are around the mics? These actual rings are to give it, you know, so it won't jolt or you won't hear that the mic scrubbing against each other. Like if you move it left and move it right, you don't get too much sound, and that's what these little rings do. It stops that. You know, you picking up the sound and stuff like that. And that's what a lot of recording studios and radio stations use and stuff like that. Anyway, time right now is 2:15 a.m. in the morning here in Chicago from the Rated F Gaming Studios B. You got your boy Antonio. If I didn't introduce myself, I'm Antonio, also known as Recon4761. This is my gamer tag on Xbox 360, Xbox One. Guaranteed to look me up, send me a tag request, friend request. I'll add you and stuff like that. You know, I used to game a lot as far as like late night, like last night I was out there playing some Modern Warfare 3, and that's my game. I'm keeping it real. You know, between Modern Warfare 3 is number one. It's an old game classic. Number two is Black Ops 2. And then everything else follows. And you probably say, well, Antonio, what about Advanced Warfare? What about you know, Call of Duty 3 or Black Ops 3 or whatever the case may be. That's it's just not my thing. I'm being honest, man. I'm keeping it real. All that jumping and around with the jet packs and all of that stuff. Nah, that ain't the way war should be fought. I mean, if I want to do that, like I said in my last podcast show, man, I'll go play some Destiny. I'll go play Star Wars or something like that. That's just the way I'm keeping it, and that's I'm being honest with you guys. Um, the next you probably say, well, what about the next Call of Duty? And I have that. Let me see if I can pull it down. It's behind. Without knocking this camera over, I'm gonna slide this over and reach for the keychain that I have. Let me see if I can get it off the hook without having to get up. I'm gonna have to get up. Darn it. So I'm gonna put this controller here without knocking anything over, without pulling out my mic, and I'm gonna slide my chair back and see if I can unhook it because it's tight in here. Okay, got it. Okay, guys, check it out. See what it says? I don't know if you can catch that. Yeah. What about this game? Eh, I got the keychain as a gift from the manager at GameStop before I went to E3 this year up in Cali, and they didn't do no T-shirts or anything like that, so it wasn't like it was. I wasn't excited about it, being honest with you. I saw the trailer and stuff like that, and I'm like, nah. I mean, and you probably asked them, well, okay, what about the hat? Like I said, Black Ops 3, it didn't do nothing for me too much anyway. Got a lot of promotions and a lot of stuff like that, and I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's like Call of Duty is kind of like geared off or straight off into some unknown territories, and I know you like to experiment and try new things and stuff like that. But over the last couple of years, and I'm being honest with a lot of you out there, Call of Duty has just lost its luster, as people would say. It just lost its a lot of gamers. It's lost a lot of people that were into it, and a lot of people are moved over to Battlefield. And I was up in LA, last month, for E3 2016, and I got a chance, and that's what I do, is I go to these, every year I go to E3 to test out all the new products and give my opinion and, game being and get what information of what's coming out, what's hot, what's not, and stuff like that. And the Battlefield, I'm not a big Battlefield fan, and I'll be honest with you. But the way Call of Duty has been going and the way it's been steering, I just jumped on. I play Battlefield every now and then. It's just the controllers are kind of funky, and it takes some time to get used to it compared to playing all the games on Call of Duty. And I just got to the point, man. I crossed over into Battlefield because of number one, I like the way it went back to World War One, and it just keeping it real with the old classic tanks and guns and stuff like that. Not all this high tech stuff that you see in Call of Duty and so on. And when I went out there to play the beta, it was just awesome. It reminded me of the old classic Call of Duty, World War One, two, and Modern Warfare 2, and all that stuff coming up. Because it's now, it's what's happening in this century. Not all this stuff, futuristic stuff that goes into the future that you like, okay, what is this and what does this do? And that's just not my thing. I mean, you get to a certain point when you make these games, and that's when I was telling a lot of the people that are the followers and people that I work with. I said, how far can you go with this stuff into the future? There's a limit to, like, okay, what's going to happen with after Black Ops 3? Where do you go now? I mean, you're gonna. I mean, there's only so much you can develop with this stuff, or take the fans into the future. And I just don't see it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, it depends on. That's just my opinion, and I'm keeping it real. I don't know how you guys feel about this or what you guys think, but yep, I'm just not a big fan of all this futuristic stuff, and I just like to go back to the old original, Modern Warfare, 3, and that's what we were hoping to get this year, was either Ghost, which they said, nah, Ghost didn't do nothing. And Ghost, a lot of people are like, well, what happened with Ghost? Ghost just didn't make any money for Activision or, Treyarch and stuff like that. And they feel that it wasn't, I guess, a good investment to put any more money into something that didn't make any money. So they decided they're going to scrap that one and just leave that on the shelf for another, whatever. And they decided to do this one right here, is what you're looking at. Again, that I'm not too thrilled about. And the only reason why I'm going to get it, to be honest with you, because of the remastered of Modern Warfare 2, the digital, to play on the Xbox. And I'm looking forward to that because that remaster is supposed to be for the new Xbox S that's supposed to be coming out next month. Now that's what I'm looking forward to. When I went to LA, we were on a budget, and a lot of people ask us, so how did you get to E3? We sponsor ourselves, we paid for everything and stuff like that. We didn't get no sponsors, man, no help and nothing like that. We're just a gaming company out of Chicago that sponsors our own events. We upgrade our own gaming setups. We do everything toward the end of the year because that's when everything is cheap. Like when we upgraded and built the studio, it was around the month of, we started in September. We didn't put the equipment in here until around November and December, which is the holidays, which is, you can get everything for like practically, half cost. And I'm just keeping it real. So if anytime you guys want to build something or do something and you have a project, the best time to do it is in the winter time and do it toward the holidays because you can get everything dirt cheap. Like right now, if you buy stuff in the spring and summer, you're getting all the new stuff and you don't see too much of a price cut on anything. That's just the way it is. And I'm telling you this from uh, consultant, expert point of view because I do this stuff before I got into gaming. I used to do installations and installs for home entertainment centers where I would go out and I buy monitors, the latest in TVs, and customers, I had clients to come to me and they didn't know nothing about how to set up a home entertainment center. So I would come to them, sit down, and give them some consultation. Like, okay, what are you trying to set up? And then they tell me, well, I want, the biggest monitor, some speakers, receiver, I write it all down, and I go and get them the best price, and I, the better the price for them and the cheap, but I get it at a good quality. I don't go cheap on the stuff, but I wait. Sometimes I used to just buy the stuff and have it sitting, so I have it ready or on standby. So when I go and do an installation or go and do a job, bam, I have it. And sometimes I didn't have it, and I go get it, but I know how to shop and compare to it. I'll be honest with you. I was a big Best Buy. Uh, you name it. I mean, I was in Best Buy almost every day. I mean, the manager even came to, hey, Antonio, you want me to put your bed in the back because you're here all the time. You might as well sleep here and just chill here. And I'm like, no, man, it's not like that. Then I got hooked up with Amazon, and then I got hooked up with Jet, which is they're competing. So if you haven't heard of Jet, Jet is another competitor, just like Amazon. And the guy that owns Jet is actually he sold his company called I think it was a company he owned called Diapers or Diaper.com to Amazon, and then he was sitting around. And he goes, you know what? I could do another version of Amazon, and I'll call it Jet. So I kind of go back and forth between them, and I kind of left Amazon alone. And if you want my opinion on why, I just like, they kept screwing up my orders. I got merchandise that was damaged. I got merchandise that wasn't the merchandise that I ordered. I got stuff that was shipped to me so much that it came not, it wasn't wrapped, properly. It was like half open. Shipments were delayed. The list goes on and on and on. And the fact that I didn't, what, sorry about that. What I didn't like about that is that Amazon kind of pointed the finger and they kind of monitored how much stuff you return. You see, and I'm not a returner. But if the stuff is damaged and the stuff is not what you order, why keep it? and I let it go a couple of times. I was like, oh, whatever. And it got to the point where I said, you know what, enough is enough. And I called them up and I voiced my opinion and I told them how I felt about it and this and that. And I guess they didn't like that. And then they kind of like flagged, like, okay, watch this guy because he's like, and I said, no, 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 you don't need to watch me. You need to watch the people in your warehouse that are not properly packing this stuff or not giving the merchant. I had stuff that was sent to me that was actually even used. Okay. And I told them about this. I even took pictures, I sent emails and stuff like that. So it got to the point where I said, you know what, man, enough is enough. I'm looking for someone else. I said, if I got to go back to Best Buy, I'll do that. And I did it. I went back to Best Buy for a while, and that's when Jet came along. And I said, oh, okay, another competitor to Jet. And I joined Jet, and I've been with them ever since. And half the stuff that you see in this studio right now that I am sitting in is from Jet, which is Amazon competitor. I mean, Jet got this cool thing, and I'm not marketing them. I'm not getting anything out of it. I mean, they really took care of me and hooked me up. As far as like I got the BenQ monitor that you see, I got my microphones, the mic arms, this desk, a keyboard that you see right here, which is I don't know if you can see it. See, it's kind of lit up blue. I got that, my mouse, a lot of bunch of stuff. I would say you probably say, well, how much of the stuff in the studio did you get from Jet? Good 80%. And then the rest from like Guitar Center. I had to go professional on that, like with the keyboard that's up on the shelf up here that you can't see. I got my keyboard up here that's wrapped up on the desk. Let me see, because this is not plugged up. See, this is my mini keyboard. It's the one that it's like a Kai. I grew up on this stuff. It's got the little pads and stuff like that. But I keep everything, like I said, I keep everything in the studio wrapped up because dust do accumulate in here, and dust can damage your equipment. And I don't know if you know that. And I'll give you some tech advice for you guys out there that probably want to start your own little studio or whatever. Make sure you wrap up your stuff when you're not using it, because dust will cause static. And the static I'm talking about, I don't know if you're familiar with it. When you turn something, you hear these little snap, little crackle pop in the like. That's static dust that gets into your electronics. It'll get into the board. I don't care if it's a receiver. I don't care if it's a Blu-ray player. And I tell people this, clients, when I go and I set up their home entertainment, I say you might want to get some plastic covers, cover up your stuff from your, when you're not using it. And I even tell people, even your Xbox, because a lot of people, they have their Xbox in their bedrooms, and that's where a lot of dust accumulates too. I mean, if you can't buy a dust cover, you can make one. It's simple and easy with some duct tape. Matter of fact, I'll tell you the cheapest tip way that you can make a dust cover. I mean, I can actually show you one, and you probably think, well, wow, Antonio, did you buy that one? I actually took a cover from how when you get your Xbox and it's wrapped with that foam, that white foam that comes around it, and then you take it apart. You can actually use that to make a cover, and all you need is some like duct tape. You can go get to the Dollar Tree or Dollar, say whatever, and get the duct tapes come in different colors now that'll match whatever you're trying to do, and that is so perfect. So I took the one that I got with my uh, advanced for because I got in the other studio over next door over here. I got Xbox terabytes, the Call of Duty advanced ones, the limited edition with the gold trim and all that. So they came with a black wrapping around it. Sorry about that, guys. My voice, man, it's just like it's that time of morning that it gets all kind of raspy and stuff like that. But anyway, it came with the black wrapping, which is so perfect. I wrapped it around the Xbox to a certain point. I cut it out, and then I used black duct tape, and it made a perfect black cover for the both of the terabyte hard drive, the Xboxes that we got over in the studio, and that keeps that dust from coming and getting down on the top of it. Because, like I said, you can't do like the one thing that people like about PC, because you can buy that dust. It's a dust spray, and it's like in a can. It's an aerosol can that has a little straw on the front of it. And what they do is they stick it down into the tower. That's for people that don't know how to open up their towers and go in and clean it. Because a lot of people, I used to clean my towers all the time because the dust accumulate on the fans that are inside that, to keep your motherboard cool and stuff like that. So we used to open them up, and then I used to go in there and I spray that spray on there, and then blow off the dust. And dust also affects your performance of your equipment. A lot of people are like, what do you mean? They say it makes it run slow and stuff like that. And people are like, well, I thought that was from spyware or certain things that I got in my desktop or something like that. And a lot of time it's that too, but it's also the dust that's accumulating on the motherboard that you have to clean off. And what I'm trying to say about that is that happens with Xboxes and PlayStations if you don't cover them up. They get the dust in it, and then it starts to like, that's when you have a lot of overheating and stuff. And when you install fans on them, they pull in a lot of dust. So a lot of times, like I said, cover up your equipment, man. It's worth it. I mean, if you don't think it is, then hey, just leave it. A lot of people are like, well, I ain't got time to be covering up no equipment, man. I want to just jump on my Xbox. I want to be pulling off. It takes only a second just to put a cover over and take it off. And like I said, your computer, your console will last a lot longer without any problems. That's my gamer tip for the day. And you're listening to Antonio here at the Rated F Gaming Studio B in Chicago. And the time right now is exactly 2:30 a.m. When you want to get your game tips, game on, gaming information from around the gaming industry, tune in each and every night. Well, I ain't gonna say every night because I can't be out here every night. I got like I said, I got a full-time job. You probably say, well, what do you mean you got a full-time job? Look like you're doing pretty good with your setup. Yeah, but say, hey, this full-time job allowed me to get this setup that you see that I'm sitting in. The money's good. I've been there for about, next year's going to be 17 years. I get 7 weeks next year of paid vacation. Now, come on, man. You can't knock that. I mean, come on now. And it's secure. Like I said, I could have left. And I'm not going to get into details what I do because it's kind of I just put it like I'm in Chicago and I work down on the Gold Coast. So it's a high-end security type of job. It's not like your average security guy. I'm in a suit. So, and then I provide, security for a high-end luxury condo. So that's what I do, 5 days a week, third shift. Like I said, I've been there for 16 years. I mean, the people in the building treat me like family and stuff like that, and I can't complain, man, because the bonuses are off the chain come Christmas time. It's between 5 and 6, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Not 600, six between 6 and 7 depends, and up there, and it's a Christmas bonus, and it's nice. Like I said, they treat me like family. Everybody's take care of me. I mean, I'm well taken care of there. Suits are provided by the building itself. They clean our suits. So what job do you find that actually tailor-made you? Come in, have your suits tailor-made for you. They measure you up, give you the shirts, white shirts, button-down white shirts, the ties, the jacket, the vest, the pants, and all that, and then clean it for you. You ain't gonna find no job like that in America. That just, I mean, come on, it's union. So a lot of people were like, wow, that's interesting job. You like it? Like I said, pays the bills, man. It's guaranteed, a paycheck every 2 weeks. I can't complain. I get anything I want from this stuff. Like I said, I couldn't have this recording studio, and that's like I said, that's how we sponsor ourselves, and that's how we're able to get the things that we want, through this. Like I said, I'm in here, and like I said, I'm just experimenting with this and see how it works. I'm not a big Younow, you know, broadcaster on this. This is not my thing. Like I said, there's a lot of uh, streaming networks out there. Matter of fact, if you didn't know, Facebook just jumped into it where you can stream live, through your cell phone and stuff like that on the scene. And they just started this like what, a month ago? Because I used it I used it last month when I was in California on my trip. I was streaming from the E3 Convention Center, and definitely you can go check it out for yourself because I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. It's underrated F gaming. So all you got to do is type some on my Facebook, account. You want to type in Recon, middle initial A, last name Suarez. That's what you want to pull up, and you'll see that. I'm almost at my max as far as what I can add on Facebook. I think it's 4,500, followers. And you probably say, "Wow, how'd you get that?" Let me break it down to you and make it easy. Um, I didn't just accept anybody on my Facebook account. I kind of build my Facebook following to where I want people to you know, follow me because of what I'm into. Not just to follow me just to say, okay, and I didn't add people just to say, okay, I'm gonna add as many people as I can just to, impress people, quote unquote, to see that I got a big following. And that's something that I wasn't about. I added people that were into gaming, that like gaming, that wanted gaming tips, gaming information, gaming news, you name it. So all of my followers on my Facebook page are I would say, a good 90% gamers. And of course, then you got your friends, and then associates, and then small businesses and stuff like that. There's some people that I did have to turn down because I do look at people's profile before I add them to see what they're into. Because I'm not going to add you if you're not, into, gaming stuff like that. That's why I built that page. The page is strictly for gaming information, gaming jokes, gaming entertainment, gaming amusement, gaming comedy, and so on. And like I said, I added a few people, because they were curious, and then I added, other people because of business wise and stuff like that. And then you probably will look, and I'll be honest with you, 80% of the followers on my Facebook page are gamer girls from all over. I'm talking about when I say all over, we're talking about the United States and then outside the United States. We're talking about Germany, France, Italy, Spain, you name it, different countries. So I explored and I did my homework, and I didn't do this in no 6 months or a year. I did this for years. I built up this Facebook page clientele following. I mean, like I said, it has its benefits, and then it has, you know, I mean, people don't respond to everything that you post up out there, and I'm just keeping it real, So other than that, it's a great page. I can't complain. Like I said, and then I got five other pages behind that. You're like, wow, what do you mean five other pages? Well, that's what I said. I got five other pages, like pages, is what I call them, and they have like 500 on one page of like followers, and then other pages close to 300, another page has 600, and so on. And these pages are different. Like one like page will say Rated F Gaming Studio A, the next page would be Rated F Gaming Studio B, and then I have a Call of Duty Black Ops 3 page for strictly for the Black Ops 3 community and the Black Ops 3 followers that want Black Ops 3 gaming tips, information, Black Ops 3 news. So that page is strictly for that. That's what I do on that page. I keep that. And then on the other pages, I do other stuff, so there. Um, like I said, I use it for advertisement as far as like, um, putting out stuff. So the pages has its benefits. So if I do this video on, like I'm doing now on Younow, I can push it on my Facebook page or my Twitter or my Instagram. As far as Twitter, I'm at almost close to 2,000 followers on the Twitter page, and that's listed under Rated F Gaming 2. So if you type in Rated F Gaming 2, you'll get me on my Twitter. Instagram is the same also, Rated F Gaming, on Instagram, and I'm at close to. I'm trying to beat. Well, I think I did, to be honest with you, because I'm at 4,000. No, sorry, no, I didn't. It's 3,600 followers on Instagram. So I'm trying to match that. I'm trying to get up to by the end of July, or the 1st of August. I'm trying to get up. I'm trying to get to 4,000. So I can have it evenly and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to do this to make myself, because I can get into a whole different subject about what people do out here on this social media site, because a lot of people don't follow it. I follow it for marketing, promotion, um, Yeah, you need this in the type of business that I am, especially in gaming, and I follow it every day and I spend a lot of hours and I just don't um use it for just like some people use it for just to make themselves look good. And I understand, and I'm not knocking nobody for that. I mean, you do what you got to do on the social media site, but don't be phony about it. And when I say don't be phony about it, it's like you got a lot of people out here that are use this thing to make themselves look like they're high end, or they're so in demand, or they're big, you know, they're following it so deep, and they're prestige, and they don't have to follow nobody. And what I mean by that is that if you ever get a chance, just go out on Instagram, go open up an Instagram account, go and do your own experiment, and you'll see what I'm saying. And what I be saying about that is the only thing I don't like about Instagram is that there are a lot of people that are phony and fakes. And what I'm trying to tell you, so I can give you some heads up, is that you got people that'll follow you for 24 hours, people that'll follow you for a week, and then they'll unfollow you. There's people that'll follow you for 5 minutes. After you add them and they add you, they'll unfollow you 5 minutes later, or 20 minutes later, or 30 minutes later. And I've seen some people leave some nasty comments about it, like, "Oh, get a life. You unfollowers. What is up with you?" And I can understand where they're coming from. And then you see people when you go visit their pages, they'll say, um, "Don't follow to unfollow," or other comments like, "Follow for follow." Basically, the person is telling, "Look, you follow me, I follow you," and that's my philosophy. If I follow you, I expect to be followed back. If you unfollow me, I'm gonna unfollow you back because it don't make. Come on, man. What are you trying to do? And I didn't understand that when I went out there. And I was like, well, why are these people unfollowing people? What's the purpose of that? And then I researched it, and then I did my own little survey, and then I asked around, and then I got the feedback from it. People do it to look more prestigious, like what I told you 5 minutes ago, if you were listening, to make themselves look like they're in demand and they don't have to follow nobody, but they have a big following following them. So a lot of people don't understand that, and they go, "Oh, I see what you're saying." So think about it. If you got less followers, I seen accounts out there that they don't follow nobody. It's zero. But man, they got like 10,000 or 20,000 people following them. And a lot of people are like, "Well, I don't have to follow anybody because they follow me." And I'm like, okay, that's great, but I don't think it's right that you follow somebody and then you unfollow them just to make yourself look like, you're this big person, and you're not. You're just like anybody else out here. And I can understand that that's great with the stars. Now, don't get me wrong. There's big companies that don't follow people, and I can understand that. Like, for instance, Activision, Treyarch, Sony, some big movie star, like, rap artists and all of that. And I'm not going to get into any names because I'm not out here trying to pub nobody, man. That's not my thing. But like I said, you got people that do that, and these are small time people that are not well known, but they want to be prestige. They want to look more classy, like up there, like, "Oh, look, I got 10,000 followers, but I only follow one or two people." That's because you unfollowed them just to make yourself look good. That's the way it is out there on Instagram, and that's the only thing I don't like about it. They should have a thing out there that if you unfollow somebody, it should like, how would I put this? I mean, because it's annoying, and I see this every day. I can get 20. You don't see that on Facebook. Let's just put it like this. You don't see that on Twitter. Come on, you may see one or two, but if you set up an account, I would guarantee you in a day, if you follow 25 people, the next day when you come out there, 25 people are unfollow you for no reason, and you're like, "Wait a minute, I followed you just 24 hours ago, and then you're gonna unfollow me? What's the purpose of that?" And there should be some type of thing in place that if you unfollow a person, then it automatically unfollows you on your end. And the only reason you've asked me, said, "Well, Antonio, how do you know this?" Because there's softwares out there in the Android market. There's softwares out there in the Apple market that allow you to, um, see who's following you, see who's not following you, and see who's unfollowing you. And that's the software that I have installed. I mean, Twitter didn't have that before. They just installed it because people were doing it on Twitter and it got annoying. And people voiced their opinion and let Twitter know about it. And Twitter got it now where you can see who's following you and who's not following you, and you can actually make a decision. Well, let me see if this person is worth following, or is this person not worth following? And you can unfollow them if they unfollow you back. But like I said, if it's a gaming company that you are into, or you want to get the news or something that you like about them, then you follow them. That I have no problem with that. I just have problems with people unfollowing you for no reason after they followed you, 24 hours ago. So, like I said, Twitter put something into place where you could see it. Instagram is the one that's very um, annoying with it. I mean, like I said, they need to, I got the software because of that reason, because I saw my numbers dropping. I'm like, whoa, 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 what's going on here, man? What's happening? So I installed the software, and it lets you see who's following you, who's not following you, who just added you, and it's pretty cool. And like I said, I keep up with the people, and like my philosophy is like this. I'm not out here trying to be, a star or whatever, anything else. If I follow you for a reason, I like what you, displaying. I like what you're about, what your page is about and stuff like that. And there's stuff that I don't follow that's not even game related, and I'm keeping it real. I don't follow a lot of, game stuff. There's other topics out there that I follow people for as far as cooking, uh, uh, tips, or I like some of the photography that's out there, and I'll follow those things and stuff like that. And I expect the same thing back. If you're gonna follow me all the way from beginning to end. Don't follow me for 24 hours and then unfollow me. That's just my thing. Why bother follow me in the first place? You could actually read a person's profile before you follow them to see, okay, I'm into that. I like what this guy or what this girl has to offer. I'm gonna follow them, not just to say, okay, I'm gonna follow him, but then I'm gonna flake him out and unfollow him when he's least expected. And like I said, there's a lot of people that do that and a lot of people that don't. But anyway, guys, I'm into 45 minutes and almost an hour into this You Now Talk podcast show is what I'm gonna call it, because it's different, because I talk about a variety of everything from gaming to social media to entertainment, you name it. I cross in all kind of borderlines, and I keep it real like that. But like I said, I'm just experimenting with this. I'm gonna go ahead to my other channel, which is Speak, which is another streaming network that I use, and it captures the video, and then I could push it out on YouTube. I could push it out on what's that? iHeart Radio. It allows you to post it up there and stuff like that. And it's like you can do like a recording and then release it, or you can do both. It'll broadcast, like a live stream, and it'll record it at the same time. So for the people that didn't catch it, it's basically like what Younow does also. But this one is bigger. It's set up a lot bigger than a lot of. It's more expandable because it has a bigger audience. Basically, what I'm trying to say. And then, it's weird about it. I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna get off here, guys, because I got some Modern Warfare 3 to play a little bit later, and then I gotta play on this PC. I'm gonna do some Twitch streaming, which is, like I said, if you want to catch it, I'm on Twitch. It's under Rated F Gaming, which is initials, which is RFG underscore Recon, RECON. So I'm on Twitch. If you want to catch me on there, I'll be on there in about a half an hour streaming and stuff like that. Some Black Ops 2 from my PC, and then I'll be on Modern Warfare 3, which is on the Xbox 360, my classic game. I won't be doing. I tried to do some streaming on there with my Elgato, but for some reason the audio is not. It's not picking up the audio, but it's recording the picture and everything. Everything came out great. So, as you can see, I got it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning here in Chicago. So I got a variety of things to do. And you're probably like, wow, Recon, what are you doing up so late? Because you know what? Like I told you before, I work third shift. So my shift that I work at work in my little cozy little office. And what's good about this setup is that at work, man, I get to play Xbox 360, Xbox One. I get to watch TV. I get to do Netflix. I get to stream. I can do a variety of things, man. And I came up with some ideas that I'm gonna do this fall because it gets pretty, slow during the winter. There's not a lot of activity at night because people are in. Nobody want to be out when it's cold here in Chicago at night. So I'm gonna try some new ideas, some new things, and I'll definitely keep you informed and stuff like that on what we got going on here at Rated F Gaming Studio B in Chicago. And I'm looking forward to probably getting out here and trying this again. Like I said, I probably do this once, a week. Nothing major. I mean, it's only so much you can do on Younow. Younow is not. It doesn't allow you to pick up sponsors. It doesn't allow you to advertise as far as like YouTube does. And I get paid for YouTube. Like as far as you like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh man, that's a whole different subject. I'm gonna have to hook you up on that on my next show. But to make it short and simple, yeah, anything that you post on you, and you have to be on there for quite a while. So you can't just jump into YouTube and think you're gonna get paid. It takes like about 30 days, and then it depends on how many videos you put out. On my channel, I got over 200, and our anniversary just came up on this one, and I got two YouTube channels, and our YouTube channel is Rated F Gaming on YouTube, and then our second one is Rated F Gaming Studios. So the first channel has close to we're almost at 4,000 followers, and it's been slow. Like I said, we haven't been putting out any videos. I had a crew, and like I said, I do this part time, and I have people that, my son was in here doing the stuff with me. But man, it's summertime, and he's, out chilling, doing his own thing. So like I said, people don't really sit down and do too much videos of production in the summertime. And you notice that in Hollywood, same setup. That's why you get a lot of reruns and stuff like that in the summertime. Nobody, want to do any movie shootings and stuff like that, or scripts and stuff like that. So that's the way we are here, at Rated F Gaming. Like I said, I'm doing this because, I got to keep you guys entertained, or else you're gonna like, well, what's going on with these guys? We haven't heard anything from them. They haven't put anything out. Are they still in business or what? Yep, we're still in business, but just the studio is in low key summer mode. And it's like almost a ghost staff here in the summer. And I'm the only one that keeps the stuff maintained and checks it out and makes sure it's up and running and smooth. Because, like I said, everything that we do, we keep it in house, and that's the purpose of this recording studio that I'm in, guys. Because we were going outside to a recording studio, and it was costing us like the last session that we did, man, it was $200, $300, $400. And we still didn't get the product we want. We didn't get the mix down that we wanted. It wasn't the way it. I mean, when we walked in there and we presented to the guy, he changed the whole format of the song and the beats and stuff like that. So we said, you know what? Enough is enough. We're going to build our own recording studio where we can do our own voiceovers, our own voice drops, voice tags, music, beats, you name it, we control it. And we ain't have to worry about nobody snipping off a little bit or adding their own little input or their own little spice or nothing like that. So that's the purpose for our studio here, Rated F Gaming Studio B, to do all of that. And like I said, it's just not for recording, it's for podcasting, it's for streaming, Twitch, YouTube gaming, you name it, and a lot more other stuff can be done in here. I mean, hell, if I wanted to, I could run an underground pirate radio station, if you think about it. But anyway, it's about 3 o'clock in the next 5 minutes here in Chicago. You got your boy Antonio, also known as Recon4761 is my gamer tag on Xbox 360, Xbox One. So when you want to get your game on, like I said before, look me up. Send me a friend request, and I'll definitely add you if I'm on there. It may take a little bit of time because, like I said, I'm not on there like 24/7 or 7 days a week or whatever. But I'm going to be out there tonight on Xbox 360 playing some Modern Warfare 3, my game classic. So definitely tune me, check me out, and I'll add you. We can roll out, rock and load, baby. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Like I said, I got other things to do. If I didn't get, I mean, I got a lot more topics, man. I'm just like a walking gaming encyclopedia, man. Anything about gaming, electronics, you name it. I've been there, done it, and give you gaming tips. I am the gaming consultant. That's right. Anyway, guys. So with this Younow thing, I'm gonna get on out of here. Like I said, if it's just one person listening, two people, three people, whatever the case may be, hey, like I said, this is just an experimental show, man, that I'm just trying out and see how it works out here. And thanks for that one person, two, three, whatever, for tuning in. Hope you guys like it. If you didn't catch the live YouTube broadcast, definitely catch it on that replay. Just click it and check me out. And I'll try to get out here and do it all over again. So with that, guys, you take care. Have yourself a good night, and definitely stay cool because man, it's hot. It's getting hot in here. But anyway, later.